Which of those four is it when you talked to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I said my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
In case you missed it, the police are questioning Snoop Dogg and Diddy for the passing of Tupac. The news wrote, Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's murder after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing, as well as new updates are happening in Tupac's murder case. Rappers in the industry from Snoop Dogg, Suge Knight, and Diddy are all about to be arrested and questioned, as the reasoning was revealed by this journalist who revealed that Tupac was with the feds.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, you know, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
As with leaks of Tupac being a Fed went around the industry, he was then dealt with for $1 million, which was a bounty that was placed by Diddy.
On all four of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
As in the new legal filing, it reads, former LAPD cop claims that Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Then Suge retaliated by having Biggie dealt with, as this would end up going viral. 50 Cent would react to it on stage, which goes and reads, 50 Cent says he doesn't like Diddy because he had Tupac gone.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I'm saying last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the shit I'm saying. I said crazy shit. No reason. Oh wait, maybe I said that about boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
As with the internet now in a frenzy, this one interview from Diddy would end up going viral, where he was confronted on Tupac's death, and he responded very weird.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
However, the scariest part is Diddy wasn't acting alone, as fans found evidence relating Snoop Dogg to the crime. It begins with this interview making the feds wonder Snoop's involvement, as he literally mentions he was supposed to be in the BMW with Tupac and Suge Knight, but then changed his mind last minute.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop mentions that he was supposed to be in the BMW, but after last minute changes, he didn't go. This was likely due to Snoop, Tupac, and Suge Knight having an altercation only one day prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife knife and a fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With all of this happening within 48 hours, it made Tupac's murder very suspicious to police. 2 decades ago, Snoop Dogg was heavily tapped into the streets. Many speculate Snoop could have received a tip that Tupac was going to be targeted on this night, so he avoided getting in the car. The feds then even found another interview where Snoop claims 2 days before Tupac died, Snoop felt like Tupac hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like that. I want to do some music with him. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
However, the physical evidence that was shared in the Diddy trial gave the courtroom the chills, as Keefe D, who was hired to do the hit, would explain how Tupac was taken out by Diddy's wish. As on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label named Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over, they spotted an op in the lobby of the hotel.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security would break up the altercation between Tupac, Suge, and the ops. This led to Tupac and Suge going back to their hotel to change their clothes. After about an hour, the two would then go off to a club to go party it up for the night. At around 11 p.m., while driving down the strip of Las Vegas, they would end up being stopped at a red light. An opposing vehicle would pull up on Tupac's side, where the altercation would then go down.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
The aftermath of the incident was a mystery for over a decade. The police investigated many concerning interviews by a man named Keefe D on DJ Vlad's show, and they would end up instantly arresting him, wanting more information. As one particular interview details, the moments of finding Tupac and literally pulling up on him and doing the crime.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Keefe D then said Tupac was targeted because he was reaching for his firearm when stopped at the red light. The man that committed the crime did it so fast because he noticed that Tupac was getting ready to retaliate.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started. at Tupac and Suge.
As Tupac already knew that something was going to go down. He was getting ready, but sadly he wasn't fast enough. These were very wild claims to make. DJ Vlad would end up wanting some confirmation that Keefe D was actually there, and that what he's saying is true. He would end up releasing a never-before-seen interrogation on the night of the crime, which confirms that he was there and that police already had him on his radar.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the line.
back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
As during the investigation, they would also end up finding his official reaction to Tupac dying.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happened. Promise to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
With the new police files then going viral online, there was then one huge hole in the entire story. Redditors online would end up creating a viral thread which shows pieces of evidence relating to Tupac still being alive, as the police files don't confirm much. Redditors would end up finding a 2010 interview by a rapper named Tretch. This is where things get weird, because in 2010, Tretch was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before a concert. Tretch and Tupac were very close friends way back in the day. They even worked on a few albums together, but after Tretch's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording. He placed his camera onto the ground, and in the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking him about Tupac, to which Tretch responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Is Pop still alive?
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. We good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
Last time I saw him, he was in church.
Then only 3 weeks later, a video would be released onto a news website showing a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot inside of Cuba.
Look, zoom in. That's Pop, man. He with the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
But what's even scarier is, Suge Knight has been saying this all along. He has said so in so many interviews that Tupac is still alive, as one particular interview from Suge makes it very convincing. He would reveal that Tupac was doing fine in the hospital before his passing, stating in quote, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's weird about this is that Tupac was supposedly in a coma. So how in the world would he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was unconscious? It doesn't seem to add up. However, in a 2008 interview, 10 years apart, Suge Knight said the exact same thing, that Tupac was alive and living well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
At the end of the day, you have to remember it's Hollywood. And if Tupac was a police officer pretending to be a rap gangster, telling anybody that he's alive would end up costing his own life. But comment down below what you believe.